More concerns ahead of the 2019 elections as INEC raises concern over synergy between security agencies. And eminent Nigerians today discuss the danger of fake news in Nigeria ahead of the crucial next month exercise. And the Lagos APC has apologized for the violence which erupted, leading to the death of one person and the injury of several others. Police say they have arrested several people in their custody over the crisis. Welcome to the program, everyone, and this is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. Take a look at our countdown right here on Channels Television. The clock says 37 days to the 2019 general elections. Blood boiling and anticipation in the air. We are approaching the first day of the opening of the ballot, so we're preparing and looking at some of the issues crucial to that election. Let's begin by telling you that there's been a lot of controversies raging over what happened yesterday. Yesterday, violence broke out at the APC governorship campaign in Ikeja area of Lagos, where one person is said to have been killed in the violence, and no fewer than 3 persons are said to have been injured after violence broke out at the opening of the governorship rally of the All Progressives Congress APC. The suspected thugs are said to have had a face-off which led to the fracas and a shootout. Victims, including a journalist who were reportedly hit by stray bullets, while a popular leader of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Lagos, Mr. MC Oluomo, was also injured. The rally, which held in Ikeja, is Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu's first open-air campaign as he seeks votes from the people of Lagos ahead of the governorship election scheduled to hold in March. The APC in Lagos is reacting to the incident.
We are therefore using this platform to tell you that APC is a decent party, manned by decent men and women. We are in Nigeria on a mission, we are in Lagos on a mission to build a vibrant nation and a vibrant state in Lagos. Our promise is that this kind of thing will not repeat itself again. It will never. But anybody that thinks is going to gain any political advantage on this will just be wasting his time. Precious gift of time on nothing.
So the police say they have made several arrests over the matter. The Commissioner of Police, Edgar Imohime, was spoken about this earlier today.
We arrested 14 suspects. Some of them have given us useful information. The Deputy Commissioner of Police Investigation, State CID, is handling this matter personally. So as at now, we have a total of 16 suspects that are currently interrogated. The preliminary investigation we have carried out reveals that it is just their intra-party national union crisis. I hear that their state chairman is exiting soon. And there are some players who are fighting to take over from him. But please, for crying out loud, is it the flag off of a governorship candidate that is a good venue for them to begin to do their inter-party squabbles?
So that is on one hand. Lagos is a very crucial point for elections in Nigeria. Presently, Lagos has the highest registered voters in the country. So it's important for us to look at what this means ahead of the election, where we see violence, death, and injury. Well, that on one hand, because we will discuss that in the course of the program. So it's a bit difficult nowadays to believe some things that you see or read, especially on the social media. Information are intentionally put out there to confuse or misinform readers or viewers. The rate of fake news has made believing a bit more difficult. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, wants more concern focused on the danger that fake news portends, especially on public information. Professor Osinbajo joined the League of Prominent Nigerians, including Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, to call global attention to the dangers of fake news, warning that the phenomenon can trigger a world war if not checked. Well, that is not the only concern. Another fear is that of violence and security issues ahead of the elections. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, insists the nation's security agencies must work in synergy with the electoral umpire if the 2019 elections are to surpass the expectations of Nigerians. INEC's chief executive explains that security agencies are mandated by Section 29, subsection 3 of the 2010 Electoral Act as amended to implement the security plans laid out by INEC and not the reverse.
Learning from the experience of some of the 195 off-season elections conducted since 2015, it is pertinent to draw our attention to the need for a different approach to the deployment of security agencies during elections. The Nigeria Police Force remains the lead agency for election security. Other security agencies will play a supportive role to the Nigeria Police.
So let's get at it, everyone. Fake news, violence, and other threats to the 2019 elections keep rearing their heads. Let's talk about the conduct of the polls. How ready is INEC? Well, joining me from our Abuja studio is the Deputy Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Senator Olorunbe Mamora. And here in Lagos is a senatorial candidate of the PDP, Mr. Gbadebo Rhodes Vivo. We're expecting the National Secretary of the SDP, Mr. Shehu Gabam, who we hope will join us in the course of the program. Thank you so much for coming on the program today. Senator, perhaps as I should begin with you tonight, is looking like a race that might be different. There seems to be a lot of tension in the air. There seems to be a lot of anticipation in the air. It will look like the candidate of your party and the candidate of the main opposition party, the PDP, are making the race a bit more intense, because if you look at, compared to other elections and election cycle, we've not had as much energy that we've seen in this race, as it looks so much. Do you think that INEC is ready for this election?
Well, thank you, Shehu. Thanks for inviting me. With all, from all indications, I think INEC has not given us any cause for alarm as to not being ready for the elections. I think so far, so good, and INEC has given us all the assurances, and we don't have any reason to doubt their readiness for the election.
With what we've seen so far, what are your fears? INEC did say, look, no matter what happens, we're going to use a card reader. It will be used to authenticate the fingerprint of the readers. Aside that, in terms of violence and the kind of build-up that we've seen to this election, your major fear?
Well, for me, I don't have any fear. We are doing what we need to do as a party. We are doing what we need to do as supporters and promoters of the President Buhari re-election. And we have things to show to justify that re-election. Well, in terms of the readiness of INEC, the INEC is doing its own bit. In terms of readiness of the security forces, they are doing their own bit. And what we need to do is do our own bit too, in terms of putting all the necessary machinery in place to reach out, to campaign, devoid of any violence, devoid of any mudslinging, devoid of any fake news, devoid of anything that could jeopardize the election. So we are ready as well.
Mr. Gbadebo, from what we saw in Lagos, yeah. That's not a good sign, isn't it? No, it's not. Does it look like we're ready for this election?
In relation to INEC or the political party?
Generally.
In relation to INEC, what my concerns are the facilitation of people getting their voters' cards. There are a lot of people that have complained that they've gone through these hectic processes to register and they've not been able to pick up their voters' cards. So for me, it's very important that INEC facilitates that so people are not disenfranchised or being able to exercise their right to vote on election day. In relation to INEC being ready in terms of election materials and things like that, they've not shown any signs that they are not ready. They've also said that the election is going to go as planned. It is my hope that the security agencies, like you talked about earlier, would actually work with them to create a free and fair playing field for every political party. So from things that we've seen, violence today, for instance, what we saw in Ekiti, what we saw in Osun, we are in a bit of a quagmire to see whether these state agencies will actually work to create a free and fair election. And that's what we are looking to the government of the day to ensure happens.
You think the security agencies are quite fair in their conduct?
No, I said from what I've seen in Osun and Ekiti, I don't believe they were fair in
Your
their
party
conduct.
has, been criticizing the police.
Yes.
Of taking sides.
Yes, and I agree with that.
You think
yes.
that's really happening?
I believe so. The elections in Ekiti and Osun was a very big light on what is going on in relation to what we can expect in 2019. So I'm hoping that INEC actually takes that into consideration and creates a free and fair election together with security agencies for 2019 elections.
You are contesting in Lagos
Yes.
for the Senate, the Lagos West Senatorial District.
Exactly.
And we saw this happen in Ikeja.
In Ikeja yesterday.
Do you think that this kind of situation may play out around the election or during the election?
Violence has always, the way APC and the way politics generally has been in Lagos, there's always some kind of violence that happens. It's my hope that the parties will curtail this and be responsible. In PDP, we've always pushed, especially leading up to 2019, push for a free and fair elections, calm elections, no thuggery or things like that. And we're hoping that the ruling party as well takes that into consideration and ensures that there's a free and fair, safe space for people to come out and exercise their rights.
So let me go back to Senator Mamora. The PDP has accused the APC, for example, that they muscle opposition. The PDP has accused the APC of using state apparatus to fight opposition. The PDP has accused the APC of not allowing security agencies to do their job. These are very big allegations that, if not care is not taken, could mar the election when they pick out very critical issues like this. Are you aware of this? Is your party doing anything to ensure that this kind of violence we saw in Lagos does not happen again?
Well, the violence you're talking about that happened in Lagos, I'm not aware of what the position of the security forces, particularly the police, is on the matter. And until and unless we have investigation into the issue, it will be rather premature to start making insinuations as to the cause or the causes of whatever might have transpired in Lagos. Until the police come out with a report in terms of their investigation and findings, I think it will not be fair, it will not be proper to just continue to hold a particular group or a particular party responsible for these actions. I think I would rather err on the side of caution by waiting for the report of the police on that incident.
Well, Senator Mamora, when the PDP is accusing, aside this event in Lagos, the PDP is saying your party is intimidating the opposition.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's not unexpected for PDP as a losing party to continue to find excuses. It's like a drowning man who will hang on to everything on the surface, just for survival. I would not be bothered about insinuations or, allegations that are baseless. So, for me, I will not bother myself about allegations that are unfounded.
We'll take a breather, but when we come back, there are other concerns ahead of this election, the issues of fake news, and some of the issues is raised by the INEC chairman. We'll deal with that when we come back from this break, everyone. Join us again.